hit the button. That's insane. I was actually saying I thought you were just about to join the broadcast any moment, and bam,
Blammo.
you popped right up. I can already see I'm going to have trouble with lighting for the rest of the year. Oh well, fuck it.
It's all right. We'll get it darker. Whatever his name is. Shit, what's his name? Leonard Cohen.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh shit, I'm so
We're going
fucking
into a
high.
dark age.
Yeah, I'm not even doing the professional stuff where I'm like welcoming the audience to the show and letting them know that it's March 20th, 2025. We're 24 hours, or actually not even 24 hours. We're just a few hours away from the vernal equinox, and then of course immediately followed by Skull and Boners Day. I'm sure it's going to be an eventful weekend in COVID land.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Well, you know, the equinox. Um, I got to see the early this morning. I stopped by the Inadequa, the big serpent mound,
Hmm.
which is north of a place called Peebles in Ohio. Um, for those that aren't familiar, excuse me, been wolfing down some Popeyes beans and rice,
Oh,
Cajun
fuck
style.
yeah, man.
Love that Cajun spice.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, kind of got the lips doing that thing though after
Mm-hmm.
because you get done,
Why
but
do you think I
it's
moved
not
here?
done. Oh my god. Mm. And it's got the Cajun sausage pieces in it. Which,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, oh my god, it's so
I know
good.
all about that. Eat that
Man,
shit
you got
all the time. Not from
uh,
Popeyes. Make it here in the studio and eat it.
blueberry lemonade or something.
All right. I can get down with that.
Oh, oh, tasty old shit.
I bet.
So where was I? So Serpent Mound.
Right. Serpent Man.
It's the largest animal effigy mound on planet Earth.
Wait,
Um,
on the entire planet?
yeah.
Like, I thought there was stuff down in, well, I guess the Nazca isn't technically mounds, right?
I'm talking about an animal effigy mound, a mound in the shape of an animal, because there are
Well, yeah,
many
because
of
some of
those.
the Nazca lines are in the shapes of animals.
Right.
But like I say, I don't think they're mounds. I think they're literally just etched into the stone, or
Yeah, those are
however the
like
fuck they did it.
paths across the Atacama Desert stuff,
Hmm.
you know. Whereas these are actual earthworks. Is that a word? Yeah,
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 earthworks
earthworks.
is
Um,
native engineering.
um, and of course the serpent has 13 bends, which represent the 13 moons of the year, and it's lined up with drum roll, please, equinox. Um,
Oh, what a
and it's
surprise!
supposed to represent the ruler of the underworld, the flying winged serpent. Shout out Quetzalcoatl.
Yeah, absolutely.
In Cherokee, we call it Uktena, the winged antlered serpent, uh, with the, of course, as I've mentioned before, the Ulun Suti, the crystal between its eyes,
Right.
which, according to, there are varying versions of this, but at least with Cherokee lore, the crystal actually beams out these hallucinations to you that hypnotize you because there are these three colors that keep strobing out of the crystal, which of course would be your
Is that the primary
red,
colors?
yellow, and blue.
Yeah.
Um, And
Interesting.
interestingly enough, if you look at a television screen really close,
Hmm.
that's all it is. It's a little. But anyways, I digress. So now the way the story goes, the Ulun Sati was um, knocked out of its head or taken out of its head by the beak of the Tlanuwa, which would be the Thunderbird. Um, I
The
think it was the
Phoenix.
69 Thunderbird. So definitely a manual transmission. But
Right.
anyways, Thunderbird took out the Uktana and he fell back to the earth. Or maybe it was a she. I'm not sure the sex of the Uktana. And I was there
Hmm.
at the mound today. I had a perfect chance to.
And you didn't check while you were there?
I didn't sex it or gender it or ask it its pronouns. But so back to the Serpent Mound. So it turns out at the Great Serpent Mound, it had huge stone obelisks. There was a smaller one at its tail end, which of course is curling on itself.
Right.
And that, okay, the curling end of the tail, the 13 perfect loops for the moons, the big depression for the head, and then the little wedge in front of it, which represents like um, the jaw, and uh, on that last mound was the two eyes, and in between it, in the center of it, was this huge 12-foot tall, 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot square, 12 foot tall stone obelisk
Hmm.
hewn with stone axes. Uh, I'm gonna say it's as old as fucking Gobekli Tepe and Tiwanaku and all that.
Really?
And this would be the stone where Tecumseh or Blue Jacket Tecumseh, the Shawnee warrior, and his brother, the blind prophet, aka Tenskwatawa, say that fast 3 times.
Oh, thank
Um,
you.
they they were allied with the British and the Canadians during the War of 1812. So when the United States tried to annex Canada militarily with Rogers Raiders going up through Lake Champlain, and then we sent uh, Vermont and New Hampshire troops. Anyways, we had American troops pouring into Canada, and in response, the Canadians and the British, of course, marched to the District of Criminals there, and I believe it was August the 24th, 1814. Um, and of course,
Hmm.
nearly as bad as January the 6th. Actually, probably worse because they did, in
No,
fact,
nothing could
burn
be worse,
down.
Yona. Nothing was worse than that day. Television told us so.
Right,
That is the worst day in American history.
except the fact that when they left, the north bank of the Potomac was nothing but smoldering ruins. I mean, they
Yeah, that
literally
was
burned
that was
everything to
yeah.
the ground.
Yeah, that was the
Um,
last time that we tried to invade Canada. Canada turned around and burned our capital to the ground.
right, and
And we've never had a problem with them since until now.
we've never invaded Canada ever since. So again, Mexico, are you paying attention? Take notes, figure it out.
Nah, I don't think the
Embarrassment.
cartels would allow the federales to do that.
Uh, so anywho, you know, I had seen the maps when the Serpent Mound was studied because you have to understand when the Serpent Mound was discovered, um, and of course, okay, let me put this in context. You have the Great Circle Mound in well, it's just east of Columbus, Newark, Ohio.
Okay.
And it when I
Yeah, I
say
know where
Circle
Newark is.
Mound,
Yeah.
you have to think of like a big, flat, circular stomp ground area surrounded by a mound
Hmm.
that forms a circle with just one gap. So there's one way in, one way out.
Right.
And it's a sacred stomp ground. And then next to it is the sacred octagon, which had been made into a golf course, which ironically is probably what preserved it because all the other mound works at Newark were like most mound works. Well, at least they mapped it before it was all just leveled and put underneath the city.
Oh, well,
Kind of like
yeah,
what
that's
happened,
for development. They call that development.
right?
You know that.
Now
You're
there
an
was a
engineer.
huge
Yeah.
conical mound, um, and so they built all the streets in circles around it, and that was Circleville, Ohio. But then the town planners decided about 30 years into it, we're just going to remove the mound and go to a grid pattern. And so it is weird because, like, on some of the outer circle roads, they're still there,
Hmm.
but that would be Circleville. But the center of it all was a Chalagota, or the English bastardization Chillicothe,
Hmm.
which was actually
Very popular with the
originally
bikers.
the
Yeah.
the state capital of Ohio.
Right. At
Um,
one time, it was correct.
Later, it would move to Columbus. Um, but anyways, a Chillicothe is Shawnee language for the meeting place, and that's where the Miami tribe, the Erie tribe, the Ashtabulas, the one of my favorite Kickapoo. Shout out Death Tyrants. Um, Piankashaw, you know, they would all meet there regularly as closely allied Shawnee and Algonquian tribes. Now, that being said, you have to think of like the Serpent Mound and Circle Mound and Chillicothe with all of its mounds as like it would be the equivalent of like Mecca in Saudi
Okay.
Arabia because you know at these different mounds you've got fluted worked knives and spear points made of Cascade obsidian, which is coming from like the mouth of the Fraser and around like Mount Rainier and
Hmm.
Pacific fucking Northwest.
Right.
All the way. Again, shout out that Tyrants. We're talking British Columbia, Point Roberts, um, Spokane, but then we've also got the coquina, the coral shell stuff
Hmm.
up from the Florida Keys. Again, excavated, found at these different mounds in Ohio, these holy sites. Um,
So
as well as
basically, they were the tribes were coming from all over
all
to
over,
this one
and
spot.
and these mounds are aligned with the solstice and the equinoxes. So that on these dates, then you have these amazing shots, right between stone notches or
Right.
between the mounds, the way everything is
Right.
perfectly aligned with the astronomy and
Say
um,
right, just like you do with a lot of the complexes in Central and South America.
right. Now the stone that was to represent the Ulunsuti, which is supposed to be the broadcasting beacon between the serpent's head. Um, in fact, where this is at on the Great Serpent Mound is on the very edge of a ridge that ends abruptly into like an overlapping stone bluff, like the kind you'd see on uh oh, what's his name? The Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner,
Hmm.
when he goes off the cliff,
Yeah.
and it overhangs. with just an amazing view of the valley of what in there is called Ohio Brush Creek, but it's actually a huge bowl-shaped valley, very strange in this
Hmm.
area, which is full of, you know, mountains. But in this one area, you have this perfectly round bowl shape just to the northwest of this promontory, which in fact is a crater from an asteroid impact.
How do you know
Um,
that?
well, I mean, because of the iridium and the other
Oh, okay.
foreign materials that they
Right.
found along the
Minerals not
crater edge.
normally found here. Yeah.
Right, non-earth minerals. So there's that. But anyways, and it's very obvious just from a surveying perspective that where this promontory was and where the stone was, and then the smaller stone where you could foresight and backsight between the two huge stone obelisks. Um, there's clearly a setup spot so that you can then. Um, they've got everything worked out. I mean, I was looking at it like a surveyor and saying, well, there's the mountain where you set up on. That's where you're doing all your ceremonies. You got your other two stones there to triangulate from. And then you can locate everything you need to locate, which planets, which stars, and literally tell what time it is, which makes sense because the snake is again supposed to represent time.
Hmm.
The tail twirling in on itself. That's why during Cherokee Stomp Dance, you always stomp in reverse, counterclockwise around
I've
the
always
sacred
I've always
fire.
wondered about that. Like why
Uh,
why is it counterclockwise as opposed to
'Cause
clockwise?
that way you're dancing back into time with your ancestors.
Gotcha.
Um,
Because it's not just the native tribes that follow that. It's all over the world.
so it
Wherever
turns
you
out,
see like the dervishes, the whirling dervishes, they're
yeah,
counterclockwise too.
that's right. Same thing. What are they called? Willy Willies in Australia. They
Something
go
like that. Yeah.
counterclockwise. Um, so it turns out the Serpent Mound is the very first land in North America to be preserved and protected for archaeological purposes back in 1815 or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Now, mind you, again, let's go back to War of 1812. The Blind Prophet and Tecumseh, the Shawnee leader. Tecumseh, Little Turtle, Pontiac. There were a lot of chiefs throughout the area. Whether you're talking the Illini Confederacy, the Wabash Confederacy, or the Algonquin Confederacy that through there that just absolutely kicked ass, and had many military successes against the U.S. Um, but it's interesting. Tenskwatawa, Tecumseh's brother, the blind prophet.
Mm-hmm.
He like, for example, he. Well, I don't want to go into all the stories about him, but they regularly met with and did their ceremonies here at Serpent Mound. And of course, the source of all the power and the center of the whole um, complex was the massive 12-foot tall stone obelisk. Well, of course, when settlers arrived, um, I don't know why they decided that. I don't know because there were other mounds down in the bowl that were just immediately plowed under. And then when they got up on the bluff and found this stuff here, because at that point it had become overgrown, had trees on it. Originally, it didn't even have grass on the snake mound itself because it was different colored soils, clay, and then red sand. That way, it was actually a colored rattlesnake with different patterns, all the way down. Really wicked looking
Hmm.
when it was kept up as as it was, as it were. So as it were, when they get up on the bluff, they're like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" And first thing they did, it took a team of horses and 4 settlers with ropes to wrestle the stone out of the head of the snake and just heave it off the bluff.
Hmm.
And then they were going to just um, completely level it. But the archaeological, what the we'll call them the grave robbers. They stepped in and actually saved it. So fast forward to like I don't know 2 3 months ago, and I seen this kid put up a YouTube video about Serpent Mound and said that he found the stone at the foot of the bluff, half buried in the mud and trees growing around it and everything.
Oh, wow.
Because it's forested down at the foot of the bluff. I mean, it's must be I don't know 150, 180 foot drop. Um, so that really piqued my interest. And I thought, I'd really, all this talk about obelisk, I'd really like to see it myself. So last few days I've been working up by Cincinnati. So I thought, well, I'm literally driving within a mile or two of this place last couple of days. So I'll swing up through there this morning, take some video, see if I can't find this stone. Because I already, last time I went walking in the woods, I was looking for the oldest U.S. government set property cornerstone monument ever
Right. Which
from
you found.
1785, which I found. Took pictures of it. Had an X and a drill hole. And anyways, well, this time I was hunting for a stone that is likely as old as Göbekli Tepe in Turkey.
Hmm.
Because I mean, the Serpent Mound
Well,
and the
shit, we
Serpent
don't even
Mound were
actually really know how old Göbekli Tepe is.
right,
I mean,
but I
we
mean,
haven't even been able to do any work there for what, 7 years now? Something like that?
it's it's a magnitude of it's not hundreds of years old. It's easily thousands of years old.
Right.
Um, that's best I can put on the number. But so long story short, I whipped out the phone and froze my fucking balls off.
Was it that cold?
Um, well, I think it was about like 38 degrees, but the fucking wind.
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh my
yeah, yeah. The
gosh,
wind
like
was wicked the last 24 hours or so.
it was like uh, this cold front was blowing in, the clouds were swirling, and like it was a steady 25, 30 mile an hour wind with like 40 mile an hour wind gusts, which was cool coming out of the woods because like tree branches and dead trees just like kept dropping in the middle of the forest as I'm walking through there. I'm like, that's
Hmm.
cool. I took of course, I had my weeds and my pipe with me to fire up if I could find the stone
Well,
to
yeah, it was
celebrate.
Ohio. It's all right.
But when I found the stone, at that point, I was so fucking cold and the wind was blowing so hard. It's like, okay, there's no fucking way I'm going to be able to sit here and light this fucking pipe standing in a goddamn wind tunnel. Anyways, I did take video. I don't know if I can fast forward or anything like that, but I uploaded it to the laptop
Oh, yeah?
and let me
Well,
see.
shit, yeah. If you can get
Okay,
it working,
brave
you should be
cat
able to fast forward too.
window entire. Oh,
Oh, oh.
hmm. Well, it's not going to be a brave cat. I don't think it's going to be a window. What the fuck is
Oh, no. You need to, like you did before.
It was a file share.
Yeah. Oh, because you're actually going through the Streamlabs software
Yeah,
this time, where usually you don't do that. Aha.
yeah.
Hmm. That is a conundrum. Let's see. Because I don't know what your display looks like either.
I don't know. Go over here to Rumble.
Is
See
there
if I can
anything that says
upload
like
it.
share?
Uh, I have screen share. Let's see. Mute.
Try that.
Stop video. No. Oh, that's just my microphone and my camera.
Hello, Bluffdale.
Uh,
Thanks for joining us.
microphone. Uh, yeah, I'll just do that. All right.
Oh,
So
shit. That sucks.
let me see here. Um,
I mean, if it's not that big, you can always send it to me and I can grab it and put it up over on this end.
okay. The first one here is 1.36 gigabytes.
Yeah, it's going to be too big.
That's what she said.
Yeah. Tell me
Now the
about it.
second one is not as excited, and it's
Hmm.
actually 60.6 megabytes.
I think that's still even a little bit too big for like email.
That's
Although
more.
probably not too big for Telegram. Because I can download it off of Telegram and then feed it into the stream from there.
Well, I got to say, when I first got it here, I sat down, I followed your advice, reset the modem
Mm-hmm.
and the router, and I'm already up to 12% uploaded on Rumble
Oh, wow.
from the video footage there. Anywho, so gosh, there's been some wild and crazy stuff here. Like, okay, let's rewind to Tuesday night, I think it was,
Okay.
and it's about like I don't know 9:55, almost 10 p.m. And I get this double header at Pullman Square, which is downtown Huntington. Used to be where a bunch of the Pullman porters lived and slept, and all the Pullman sleeper cars and Pullman porters. And it's Pullman Square. And if that's not ringing any bells for most people, okay, used to be a time when privately owned railroad companies were required by the government to provide passenger rail service. And they also provided overnight sleepers and stuff like that.
Right.
Before they just said, fuck all that, we're not doing any of that. And so Amtrak had to be formed to save passenger rail. Otherwise, there wouldn't
Right. It
be any
had to be
passenger
born. It
rail at
had to be
all.
born. Right. Just like we had
Um,
to bail out the banks.
because they just weren't going to do it anymore, and the government wouldn't make them. Or I don't. Yeah, it's a whole nother ball of wax. It shouldn't be privately owned, critical national infrastructure. Pri- Anyway, I'm getting way off track here. So,
Yeah, let's get back
uh,
to
so
the thing.
anyways, leaving Pullman Square, and I got my doubleheader from Rooster's Chicken Place and Cold Stone Creamery with some shakes. Put one in the cooler, got the other one in the hot bag. And it's going to bumfuck out Wayne, but there's a shortcut that takes me straight there. But it's a windy West Virginia one lane blacktop road that has
Uh,
switchbacks and goes over the mountain.
right.
Goes
I know
through
what you're talking
Hardy
about.
Town.
Yeah.
Whereas the other two ways which are the nicer roads. It's like you're going way the fuck out this way and then
Mm-hmm.
doubling back and coming around like a fish hook, or the other way. I can go out and make like a capital J and fish hook the other way. So I'm just going to split the baby down the middle, King Solomon, and we're just going to cut straight through, and it'll save me. It's like less than half the mileage and like 5 minutes faster. Should have been. And it's got this huge, uh, what's it called? Heritage Village is what they call it, I think. All
Okay.
these old log cabins and log cabin, log barn, and it's basically like a frontier village.
Right.
In fact, it's called frontier.
Like Lincoln Logs, but human
Yeah,
size. Yeah.
and they got the Lincoln log fence all around it.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah.
the History
As you
Channel
do.
series Hatfield and McCoy's was filmed there.
Hmm.
Um,
That makes sense.
so I'm I'm getting right up to the first pull in to the Frontier Village on Harveytown Road, coming around a hairpin curve, and whoa, there's two shirtless rednecks throwing hands in the street. Right when I come around the corner,
Hmm.
dude connects with the right. And I mean, I seen the guy's like jaw and head go sideways, hat
Oh,
goes flying, and blam, he just immediately drops the
right.
fucking blacktop. I'm like, yeah,
Oh,
he's out. So of
that's
course
rough.
I gotta hit the brakes. I got two orders in the back, and he drags him out of the road. And so,
Well,
I
that was
steer
nice.
between his hat and the two guys by the guardrail. Um, at which point I noticed something in my rearview mirror, and I look up in the rearview mirror, and yeah, it's flashing blue and red lights already coming up behind me. But I mean, it's a sea of like Blues Brothers type shit. Like, oh my, there must be 4 or 5. I don't know how many fucking cars, because they come in droves. At which
Mhm.
point, I
Oh
come
yeah,
around
if
the
it, if
next
yeah, it was a
hairpin of the
call. They
curve,
were like, "Oh shit, there's something to do. Let's go."
and at the next hairpin of the curve, because at this point, Harveytown Road is on the side of the mountain, so it's straight down one side,
Oof.
straight up the other, hence the guardrails. Um, and I come around the next bend, and there's two vehicles, you know, with their bumpers locked. I mean, didn't look like it was a wreck. Looked like one tried to make the other stop. So obviously, these two seen each other through the windshield and like, you, you motherfucker. And they both threw open their doors and got out and did the hill jack type thing and just started throwing hands. So this was not
What the
like a
fuck?
road
Are they
rage
using
incident.
like energy weapons in West Virginia this week or something? What the fuck? They put something
Equinox.
in the water supply?
You obviously didn't check your horoscope. The planets, man.
No, no, I
Um,
never do. That's
stars,
all bullshit.
retrograde. Come on. So anyways, at that point I realized the my way is blocked. But I see that the two vehicles actually, when I get out and walk up, because the driver's side doors were open on both vehicles and they're, blocking the road. But when I actually look at it, they're not even touching each other. I mean, the bump, I mean, you have to scooch sideways to get between the two vehicles, but the bumpers aren't even touching. So yeah, they were like, yeah, you. Both fucking put it in park, got out, and started
Hmm.
fighting. And by the time I came up there, they'd already made it down the hill about a block and a half. But at that point, I figured, oh well, somebody will just hop in one of these cars and move them eventually, and I can get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
At which point, two of the cop cars go ahead of me and block the road
Oh, nice.
between me and the cars up ahead because they get out with dogs and they've got two vehicles to fucking
That's right.
drug
They
sniff.
got something to do.
Yeah. Oh, they all got something to do. Well, then behind me, now there's two ambulances blocking the left lane, four cops blocking the right lane, and I'm fucking stranded on the side of the mountain with all these goddamn DoorDash orders, thinking I've found the quickest way there, and I'm on the one lane
Surprise,
bumfuck
motherfucker.
road that turns to gravel. I mean, just past Frontier, it turns to gravel. What are the fucking chances this fucking shit's gonna happen? God damn it, man.
Well,
So
people
then
live
I got to
out
get on
there.
the phone with DoorDash. I got to message both customers and tell them what's happening. I mean, good news is they both tipped. And, they're like, "Hey, thanks for letting me know what the
Blam.
whole
There you
shit is."
go. Yeah.
Wondered why you were just sitting on the side of the road.
Is that almost done uploading yet?
Serpent Mound is at 37%.
Oh my God. It's
Wow.
destroying your video feed just for future reference.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, luckily this is a radio show. People don't tune in from us.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. So here's my question. Were there any dildos that were a part of either of those orders that got you stranded on the side of a mountain with a bunch of emergency personnel?
No, oh my God. By the time,
Because I know, what was it,
uh,
Monday? I think it was
by
like
the,
Monday or Tuesday. You were cranking, man. It's fucking dildos and butt plugs for everybody.
okay, so the
Everybody
dildos
was
and
getting
butt
off that
plugs
day.
came after that. So
Gotcha.
that would have been,
Maybe Wednesday then. I don't
that was
remember.
Monday night. That's
Okay.
Monday night when that stupid shit happened. And because of that happening, at that point, I said, fuck it. I'm going to try Cincinnati. And so Tuesday and Wednesday, I did Cincinnati, which led to 3 runs from Hustler Hollywood, Larry Flint operation,
Yeah.
which was the
The great and
dildo,
powerful.
and the butt plug. Um, that was what was that town called? Was it Springboro or Middletown, Ohio?
Middletown
Yeah,
sounds right.
Middletown and Springboro. Yeah, that's the place. That's the place.
Everybody's getting off there, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was distracted by these haikus that I was writing during the Grand Theft World show last weekend. Let's see. Haiku the Yona, Bukaki teriyaki, moist smoke more the weed. And then there's another one. Wet queef cottage cheese, like snow melt of Mount Fuji. Flawless victory. It's the syllables. It's the syllables. Haiku.
I like the flawless victory one.
Wet queef cottage cheese, like snow melt of Mount Fuji.
Oh,
Flawless victory.
speaking of the mothership, I talked to the great and powerful Tony Myers for a little bit earlier today.
Blammo.
Yeah, it was good to hear from him. He's doing good, which of course is a good thing.
Well, family first sometimes,
Yeah.
and that's a good thing. I would call it having a life, which again is a good thing. Otherwise, you end up vicariously living other people's lives for them.
Hmm.
and spend way too much time on the phone and the internet. Get out and get
I
up and
agree.
do
I
something.
agree. I think there are a lot of people that need to spend a lot less time on the internet.
Just get out your feelings and get into some nature.
I would actually like to spend less time on the internet myself, but unfortunately I have a contract, so I'm stuck.
Let's see. Oh, now I have to wait for an encoding server to claim the video. Please wait till your video finishes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, all right. So at least that's doing
We'll
its
get
thing
there.
now.
Yeah.
It'll get there
We
and
still got time.
fairly quickly, and it's just past the top of the hour. Although I was late getting in here from Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's fine. We stalled
Uh,
until you got here. It was all good. We dropped some black acid. I'm sure it's kicking in. People don't even know what time it is. It's like the clock is it's going in 5 different directions. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'm hearing all of this. What I looked at the newspaper, while I was at the Speedway or 7-Eleven, looking at the headlines, and then
Yeah.
got curious and just thought for a second, "Oh, hey, I'm in Cincinnati. That they'll have good rap and R&B." And
Is that a negative?
no,
No.
and then
Well, it's
they
what?
had like a little news bleed come on, and it was all about fucking Trump tariffs and everything.
Right.
I
Was
just
this terrestrial radio? You were tuning into
yeah,
like the local
listening to
urban
some.
station or something?
I was listening to some frequencies on modulation there.
Gotcha. That's all garbage now. It's programmed, machine controlled, just garbage.
But they did have the cool CVS and Walgreens commercials for new booster.
Oh, of course they did. Of course they did. It's
They keep
media.
with the current thing, and then they were like talking about some social event where they're going to go to the park and wave Ukrainian flags for peace. And I thought,
Isn't that why you wave them?
for the umpteenth time, I'm like, oh my God, don't peace on Yona's head and tell me it's Ukraine again. Fuck, man.
Well, they what they also did, and I believe this was in the last 24 hours, as a matter of fact. Ukraine did a bombing run on the airfield that houses the Russian nuclear bombers, and they did that for peace as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Well, from my dusk to my dawn. There you go.
there you go. I'm so glad we're talking about Ukraine again. I really am, because we had a drought there for a while where there was no Ukraine talk whatsoever, and I think it was actually Koki Smurf himself,
Yeah.
and his little tantrum that got us all focused back on it again. Like good little consumers.
He is a really adorable little, like, I mean, my God, if you just put some sunflower seeds in one of his
You just want to
hands
pinch his
and
cheek.
get him in
Yeah,
that Slav squat where he's like, it's kind of like sitting Indian style on the ground, except, it's the Slav squat. And he's got well, we would say Adidas, but they say Adidas. Why? Beats the fuck out of me. Saying it wrong.
man.
Adidas. What the fuck? Anyways,
I mean, if you want
um,
to know, just ask the Nazis.
so he's got the tracksuit. He's basically Gopnik.
Duh.
He's Gopnik the fuck out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um,
He's just wearing the garb of his people. That's all. Very cultural.
or like, remember the green pullover?
Mhm.
That was like with a tracksuit too, right?
Kinda, a little bit, yeah. But it was green. It was that military. What do they call it? Like olive drab. A little bit
Yeah,
darker. That was more of like a forest drab.
yeah,
But
yeah, like a forest drab,
yeah,
forest green. But I mean, never, I could totally picture Zelensky in his Gopnik Adidas on Saturday Night Live. doing the Running Man with Lance on that skit. What's up with that? What's up with that? You know, where he's
Yeah.
totally, totally.
Well, I mean, he was a renowned entertainer in Ukraine. I mean, how do you think he was able to become president?
Well, he played president on a TV show first.
Well, exactly. It's they basically everybody got to do a test drive, and they were like, "Yeah, okay, that's pretty cool." And then they discovered that, oh,
Yeah, it
it's not
turns out
TV.
all of this has been scripted, and so much money has just vanished in Ukraine. Oh well, at least it was Simonized. Um, because I think that's what they were doing at the biolabs that Hunter Biden. Because a lot of hay, and rightfully so, a lot of hay has been made about Hunter Biden's position on the board of directors at Burisma
Hmm.
Energy.
Yeah, but he was into other shit too.
Because 80 grand a month seems kind of excessive considering most of those board meetings he just phoned in, literally. Um, but then
Yeah,
there's
sometimes
all
without
these
clothes
other
on. I bet.
biolabs, which not the skinny Yatzazar guy, Victoria Newland, but like the four chin Sally Struthers, Victoria Newland,
Right.
who was
Vicky
under.
the Hut.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm.
And she was, that was in one of those, what do they call them? Some congressional subcommittee fucking hearing. But uh, that's when she was being grilled by Rafael Cruz, aka Ted,
Hmm.
about the Ukrainian biolab.
How do you get Ted from Raphael?
The same way you get Beto from Robert O'Rourke.
All right,
And
fair enough.
I would jump on a table right now, but there's not enough room. Uh, shout out Master Beto, which I kept
It's
hearing
all
that
for the clout,
song,
man. All for the clout.
and because I made the song Master Beto, which you is in the vault. You've played it before,
Hmm.
because it features Jackson Hinkle. Um, but the funny thing is, the other fella on there, he's talking about you have these people no lived experience. They just get on the internet. They talk about I can jack off in this flavor and that flavor, and like these are the lyrics of the song, and I'm like, holy shit, it totally describes somebody.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, what the fuck? Uh, processing is at 35%. Wow, it's
Oh,
just an
Rumble's
11.
absolute shit these days, man.
It's just an
They're
11
just
minute video.
terrible. They're just
Oh,
terrible.
wow, wow.
Where were we?
Oh,
Oh, that's right. Raphael Cruz. I'm sorry, Raphael
yeah,
Edward Cruz.
yeah.
That's
Or
where the
Ted.
Ted comes from. It's his middle name. It's a shocker that he would use his middle name.
But he was actually, he's Mexican like Mitt Romney, because of course Mitt Romney is from the Mexican Mormons. Because it turns out that's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, the Mormons are supposed to save America, Yona. Didn't you know that?
I think that's on one of the gold plates that
Mm-hmm.
was it Joseph Smith
Mm-hmm.
dug up in New York. Um, was that before or after he talked to the aliens? I don't know. At
I
some
can't
point,
remember. It's a
neighboring New
difficult
Yorkers
chronology.
were like, "Bro, you're crazy. Get the fuck out." And hello, Deseret or
Yeah.
Utah or whatever.
Yeah, that was right before God told him, because he was getting all that grief on the East Coast from the
Right.
people, right?
Because they thought it was kind
Which
of crazy when he said,
honestly, I
"Hey,
can sympathize with, but
I've managed to write the missing books to the Bible." They're like,
right.
"What missing book?" I wrote the extra
Well,
book.
you didn't know they were there because they were missing. Like, I understand his logic. It's fine.
They
He
were
was
missing because he
wordsmithing.
hadn't written them yet, because he
Correct.
hadn't dug up the gold plates
That's
yet.
right.
There's logic to this somehow.
Exactly. But immediately following that was when he got the direct download from God that told him, go west until you find a lake that is so salty nothing can survive in it, and when you find that lake, build your city there.
That's right. At which point you'll be able to freely practice child brides and polygamy.
That's right.
Because America. Freedom.
And God.
Yeah.
Can't forget the most important part, Yona.
Which, speaking of which, like with the whole child trafficking thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would like to say that it's unique to the Mormons in Utah, or that it's particularly bad there, but
It's not.
it's kind of like everywhere.
It is everywhere. It's being sponsored in many instances by tax dollars.
While I'm waiting for that, I do have something else that I could share. Let me go to my browser history
Uh-oh.
so I can find. There's the link. Now, all right. All right.
What we got?
Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is going to be an excerpt from some Yugoslavian television. Like,
Sweet.
think of like Wayne and Garth, Wayne's World, excellent party time, But they, of course, were broadcasting on Aurora Public Television. What was it? Aurora Public Access, right?
Right.
Aurora, Illinois. Shout out Chi-Town. Um, okay, so now I've got that there. Now I gotta go screen share. Let's see. Let's turn off tab audio. No, 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 no. Let's turn on tab audio.
Yes, please.
Okay, gonna make it better. Serbian TV. There it is. Okay, so now let me preface this. Okay,
All right.
Yugoslavia, which thanks to the UN, was given all kinds of freedom and liberation, and now it's after all of the depleted uranium we carpet bombed the place with, uh, Ljubljana and Sarajevo and Sofia, they all just kind of went their separate ways, and so now you've got Montenegro and Serbia and Bosnia, Herzegovina, Croatia, and
Right. You got all the
Slovenia.
Balkan
Shout out
countries.
Melania Trump. So anyhow, prior to the breakup of Yugoslavia, thanks, good look, UN. You know, so we're talking late '80s, early '90s. We've got some public access TV that blew up all across Yugoslavia. One of these guys is
Is it Borat? Oh, no, wait. That was a different
his
country.
name is Milan Tarot, Tarot, Milan Tarot, because he reads the tarot card, or as we would say, with
So
the
he's a
French
gypsy.
the gay French thing, tarot. But he's a comedian, and so because you got the Roma and the Gypsy all over this area. The whole country is very superstitious when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
reading palms and
Yeah. Yeah.
anyways,
I worked for some Romanians once. They're
very
very,
superstitious.
yes.
So. He's just, riffing on this. But the callers on the other end are like really, they're diehard. And okay. I've prefaced it enough,
Are you going to send it over now?
and now we're gonna share it. I kind of had to preface this a little bit, and there are subtitles for those that don't speak the Serbska.
Hmm.
You don't have to speak Serbska tonight.
No, that'll be for after the break when we come back. We'll do the test on that.
All right,
then.
we're gonna hit play. And we're doing this for Rizzle now.
Evo je ovde karta, on ima problema sa probavom.
Dobro.
Kažite ako nije tačno.
Well, shit. That wasn't supposed to happen. Let me get him back. All right, there's Yona.
I proći će mu probava, a dok bude sedeo, znači ovako kako čuče, kako gurne prste dupe, neka gleda u pod.
Okay, I'm going to rewind this and read out the subtitles because this is radio, and for people that are listening and not watching, all they're hearing is a bunch of Serbian.
Yeah, that's fine.
Slušajte.
Again, there's only like 2 people that watch Yona. Don't worry about it.
Listen, here's the card. The caller's husband has problems with digestion.
Probavom.
Dobro.
Kažite ako
Yes, all right. Yes, good. Tell me if that's not true.
nije tačno.
Jeste.
It
Vidite
is.
zašto mene
Wow,
zvuče
that's
ovdje.
And
amazing.
now you see why they call me the wizard. He needs to shove a finger up his ass.
Prst u dupe. Sredom i
Yes.
petkom od 9 do
Wednesdays
10.
and Fridays
drži
from 9
prst
to
u
10.
dupe.
Hold it in his ass.
Da. I
Yes,
proći će mu
yes.
probava.
And then his digestion problem
bude
will go away.
sedeo.
But while he sits, as he squats, just like this,
Znači ovako kako čuče, kako gurne prste dupe.
and shoves his finger up his ass, he needs to look at a poster of
Neka gleda u poster Snoopa.
Šta je to Snoop?
Pa Snoop Doggy Dogg, onaj crnac. Jer Bog probave je Snoop Doggy Dogg. Znači samo prst u dupe i gleda u Snoop Doggy Dogga i to je to. Nema šta. Jer znate vi koliko ljudi sam ja izlečio od probave? Da li ste vi svesni? 412 milijardi ljudi sam ja izlečio od probave.
However,
Wow, he's
my
cured
favorite
412 billion people? That's amazing.
I know. Oh, oh. I thought you would get a kick out of that.
This looks better than most of the shit that's being produced today. Honestly.
I know, right? And
Holy
then
shit.
it gets even better.
I don't know how people watch like TV and movies today. It's just such absolute hot garbage. Like it's horrible writing, horrible acting, horrible production. Like it's all fucking atrocious.
I don't know why, but he gets one of his callers to very vulgarly just issue curse after curse against Houston Rockets star Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, first he's telling
I've always heard
callers
he was a nice guy.
have your husband shove fingers up his ass while he stares at a poster of Snoop Dogg, who of course is the god of digestion. Let's move on to the Hakeem Olajuwon curses. This guy's genius. Fucking genius, Drizzle. You should be taking notes.
episode was when someone called to have a curse lifted from their house, and Milan's solution was to cast a spell cursing Hakeem Olajuwon, a basketball player from the Houston Rockets.
Na kuću imate urok Enzo Ferrari. On baca to.
Enzo Ferrari.
I to kroz dimnjak. Jel ste primetili da kao on vam nekako kleci u kolena i nekako ne može da se krećete?
Da,
I teško, kao da teško priđate i svađate se po kući.
da, tačno je.
To je od Enca.
Interes me da li možemo mi da ostanemo u ovu kuću da živimo.
Ma ne
There's
može, ne može.
no way you
ispred
can't.
i
Go outside of it and
5
spit
puta.
5 times.
Dobro, i kaži
Okay,
Hakim,
all right. Say, Hakeem,
Hakim,
govno jedno,
you piece of shit.
govno jedno,
mamu li ti jebem.
Fuck your mother.
mamu li ti jebem.
7 puta kaži.
Say it 7 times.
Haki,
Hakeem,
govno jedno,
you piece of
mamu
shit.
li ti
Fuck
jebem.
your mother. Hakeem, you
mamu
piece of
ti jebe.
shit.
Ja,
Fuck
je.
your mother.
Govno
Harder.
jedno, mamu
Harder.
ti jebe.
Bravo.
Bravo.
Houston, njegov
Fuck
što
him
nije
and
igrao
his
u
Houston.
Lakersima.
Why didn't
As
he
a
play for the
5
Lakers?
and 6-year-old kid when first coming into contact with the show,
Oh,
I had
Anyways,
oh my goodness.
folks, that was Milan Taurod.
Oh, that was excellent. That's absolute shit. We should steal that. We should absolutely steal that. Oh my God. We could make so much money, Yona.
Now, see, where else are you going to get back so hard by 1980s Serbian TV clips?
Nowhere.
Nobody else rocking this shit, buddy. and now we can clip our clip of a clip of a clip.
That's right. It'll be meta media.
Blam.
First ever. It'll be like when the Hoteps did Griffception. Except it'll be Liberty Radio flavored instead, obviously.
Okay, this thing is now saying processing is only at 49%. I don't know if it's going to be done before midnight. We might have to go a little bit late.
No, we got some time. We can do some things if we need to. None of this is set in stone, like that fucking obelisk that we're waiting to see. Come on, Rumble. Get off your ass, Peter Thiel. This is what the world wants.
Speaking of get back harder, let's go to
No.
Serpent Man.
Did we ever, because we got sidetracked, obviously, by the fabulous technology that is known as Rumble. Did we ever finish with the Serpent Mound?
No. Okay, here it is. Putnam. Frederick Putnam, an archaeologist at Harvard University of Boston, conducted the first scientific excavation at Serpent Mound. He first visited the Serpent Mound in 1883 and began the campaign to buy it and restore it. He devoted himself to all the mound sites of Ohio, especially Serpent Mound. Putnam's multiple excavations did not yield any artifacts that could definitively link the mound to a particular known culture. Let's see. The site was gifted to the state of Ohio by Harvard University in the year 1900.
Or wasn't that nice? Here, we don't want to fuck with it anymore. You have it.
Okay. They're like, yeah, it's kind of boring. You can have it.
It's just a big hill.
But
Tired of mowing it.
That's 1886. That's late. Man, I need earlier.
Yeah, because you said it was like
Squire and Davis. Okay.
All
right. The first published surveys of the mound were by Ephraim Squire and Edwin Davis in their historic volume, Ancient Monuments of the Mississippi Valley, that was commissioned by the Smithsonian Institution. Let me pull this up here. Screen share. Blam. Full title of the tome, Ancient Monuments of the Mississippi Valley, comprising the results of extensive original surveys and explorations by the Americans Ephraim George Squire and Edwin Hamilton Davis. Squire and Davis. Davis was born in Hillsboro, Ohio, just a few miles from Chillicothe. As he grew up, he was very familiar with the many mounds and earthworks of the Scioto River Valley. Squire, 10 years younger than Davis, was born in Bethel, New York. By the time he arrived in Chillicothe in 1845 as the editor of the weekly Scioto Gazette newspaper, he had received training in civil engineering, education, and journalism. And so with compass and chain, they set about mapping out. They were the first to survey and map out the earthworks. So here we go. All right.
Yep, that looks right.
Can you see how the tail loops
Mm-hmm.
around on itself?
Yeah.
And then how it's got it shows the bends there. And then the head of the snake. And
Mm-hmm.
then the snake is actually eating a big egg.
Right. No, I had a picture of it from Instagram up earlier.
Oh, okay.
Because I could
Um,
find
well, the,
all kinds of pictures of the actual mound itself. I could not find any pictures of the obelisk. None.
right, because okay, this is from 18 1836.
Wow.
And
That's almost
okay,
200 years old.
if you look at this diagram and you see the snake with the tail and then the egg shape that the snake is eating, you'll notice
Snakes love
in the
eggs.
in the very center of that big oval is the obelisk. The obelisk is still there with the Squire and Davis survey, Adams County, Ohio, 1836.
Okay.
Let's see. Raffinesque, yeah, he's another one. Constantine Raffinesque. He also surveyed
Oh,
the
he sounds gay.
earthworks, born in Constantinople.
Hence the
And
name.
he was a science teacher at Transylvania University in Lexington, but he also worked closely with John James Audubon, the famous guy who painted all the pictures of birds after he killed them. I think Audubon's renowned for like
Right.
helping to
Conservation.
conservation
Wildlife.
and
Yeah.
birds and stuff, but actually to make all those drawings of birds, he killed I don't know how many thousands of birds.
A lot of birds. He killed a lot of birds. Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
birds. Ironically, um,
I don't know if it was ironic. I think that was actually by design.
but because you got to do it for the science.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he got to be the one to do it. Like I think that's how the conservation works, right? Like if you're the people that come up with the whole theory of eugenics, you're the ones that get to like carry it out for everybody else because it was your idea, so you get the honors, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, is it? It's loaded finally. It's finally going to work.
Holy crap!
Holy crap! That only took forever.
Yeah,
So all I have to do is say share this tab instead,
that's right.
and it should work. And here we are, folks. Some actual live correspondence footage taken today. Haven't even put this through editing yet.
Oh wow.
What happened to the intern, the free intern? Did they quit again?
We have
Probably.
interns.
It's probably the lack of pay.
Why didn't anybody tell me?
Well, they say they'll do it, and
Shit.
then they don't even show up on their first day.
Oh, whatever.
So let's see what happens here. And luckily now I know I can fast forward
Today
through
we
the
were at
boring
the
part.
Great Serpent Mound.
Oh yeah, that audio is.
Trees,
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Cedar tree so large it surely has been here since prior to discovery. That's what they like to call it. We're here at the end, the tail end of the Serpent Mound. There is this structure over here, a lookout tower, but it's closed and rusted and looks out of repair. That's why they charge such a hefty fee to get in here, I guess.
Wow. Yeah, you can
Hard
hear
to
the
tell,
wind.
but this is it. Snaking around. Let's go down here to the tail end. This is the great asteroid crater, and we're right on the rim of it. And of course, the tail twirls around itself, makes a curlicue here. But the reason why I'm making this video is because we're going to go look at the panther obelisk that was between the snake's eyes on the snake head. And I think this might be where the road cuts off. The Shawnee and the King of the Serpent. Blam. According to Tenskwatawa, the Shawnee prophet, when the first Shawnee people came to this land many thousands of years ago, several warriors were lost when they were taken beneath the sea on the back of an immense turtle. Anxious to rescue these men,
As you
people
do.
called upon their grandfather serpent, the king of the serpents and ruler of the world below. They fasted, sang, and prayed for several days and nights. One morning they awoke to find a giant creature within the body of a serpent and the head, horns, and neck of a large buck. Uktena! Lying dead and bleeding on the shore. Despairing now of rescuing their lost warriors, they cut the body of the creature into the pieces, which they used for generations as powerful medicine. So we continue. I'm not sure if this is the path or not. It doesn't appear to be. What's with all these rocks here? Yeah, this don't look like no path here. Let's go on down a piece.
Was it the Illuminati? Did they put rocks there to
Because
stop
anyways, so Ukana, which I've sung about in
that
songs before.
Part of the,
That's the Cherokee word for the horned.
in fact, there were stones like that around the edge of the bluff, all the way around it. So those stones were actually set by the mound builders,
you? Huh.
not by the park.
So it might have been the
So
Illuminati.
that was, that threw me off because I thought, oh, this must be part of the park stones leading to a path. No, that's some Cro-Magnon retaining wall. Anyway,
Serpent, the horned winged serpent, has the ulunsuti, the crystal between its eyes, which hypnotizes you, puts you under the spell. Here's the draw where I cut down. Yeah, there's the footbridge. Okay. Anywho, here at Serpent Mound, which is reportedly the largest animal effigy mound on planet Earth, between the eyes of the serpent was the great stone obelisk, which would represent the hypnotic stone. So, we're going to get stoned with the High Yona and look at the obelisk. Now, of course, the good Christians, when they found this place, thought it was all the devil's work, so they took the obelisk out of the snake's head up here, and they just threw it off the bluff. Well, I was watching a video a couple months ago and seen that a dude was looking for the obelisk. And he found it where it fell off, where it was thrown off the fucking bluff. So we're going to look at the obelisk from the Snake Mound, which is untold thousands of years old. And this would have been the center of the snakehead's power. So, on the obelisk trail, Tenskwatawa and Tecumseh were at many ceremonies here, their capital being just to the north at Chillicothe, or Chillicothe, as it's said nowadays. God. Well, that cold front blowed in last night. Now it's like 40 degrees.
Oh, that's what it is here right now. That's incredible.
All right. Hopefully I can find this thing. He actually took a little stick or something. He was clearing around. Maybe he had like a trowel or something. he uncovered the tip of it and everything. Like 3 sides of it are showing where, you know, when it was thrown off, it hit the dirt pretty hard, being thrown off this bluff. That is
shit,
Ohio
if it
Brush
was
Creek.
3 feet
is,
square and 12 feet
more like
tall.
a river.
That's a mess.
Made it to the footbridge. Oh, I got to put on my hood, man. My ears are freezing
That
off.
stone was taken out of the creek. I don't know how many miles away, and they
Let's get in my hands.
You should have taken gloves. Although I guess it's kind of hard to operate the camera.
Oh, nice. It's a staircase. This is.
Oh, I did have gloves. Well, I took weed instead. Turns out I should have taken gloves and left the weed behind.
Under my
because I
fucking
never got
armpit.
the
God.
I understand. Priorities.
Oh, nice. Warrior shelter. Okay.
Of course, we can't see it.
Oh, we're almost there.
Oh, I do look up at it.
Hopefully I can find this spot. There's the promontory. Okay. Yeah.
This is so
They said they
disorienting.
went over to the ledge and threw it off the ledge and gave thanks to God. Well, there's the ledge. I just seen it. Okay.
Well, that's a log. That's not a ledge.
Hey, it's you know, last time I was in the woods looking for a stone, it was Thomas Hutchins, the surveyor of the United States. And that stone was like over 200 years old. Well, now we're looking for a stone that was hewn and placed atop a snake's head, the largest effigy mound on earth. Oh, wow. There's a cave underneath the snake. Of course there is. Jeez, man. Okay, and there's another one under the bluff. All right, so, yep, here it is.
Probably
So
warmer
this
in the
stone
cave than it is outside.
would be thousands of years old. I don't even know. There it is. Oh my God. It's kind of hard to miss. Well, it's way bigger than I thought it would be. Well, he did say it was a massive obelisk. He said it took 4 settlers to heave that thing off the bluff. And there it is. Oh my God, man. Now this is a stone, bruh. Wow. Yeah, that's where he cleared all the brush. It was all grown up with vines. He cleared the vines off. Found it. See, that's the bluff where they threw it off.
Oh, wow.
It's even got a little lookout up there. I'll see if I can't climb up to it. There's a cave there. There's another cave over there. Wow, man.
Oh, shit. That is, yeah, that's an obelisk. I can see the point.
And this thing is taken from down in the creek. And they had that motherfucker all the way on top of that bluff at the snake's head. A square. Oh, wow. It's even fluted on both sides. It's almost like was cut like a, let's see, is there? Oh, yeah. It's been worked with stone axe. Fuck yeah, man. Wow. Holy shit, man.
That's
All right.
wild.
Now let's climb a fucking hill. And duck under the trees.
Go into the cave and smoke
Oh,
some
man, this is
weed.
like Star Trek type stuff.
Well, I thought it was too.
Oh my God, the energy here, man. This
Star Trek stuff. Were you fucking
This
aliens
is where the
out
Shawnee
there?
Prophet was getting down, son.
They thought
Vince
they were going
Patala.
to probe me. I probed them.
The blind prophet. Come to.
No, it's like you say, when in doubt, thrust till you bust.
Guess y'all wanna know. Alright. Yeah, this is not the foot trail, this is the deer trail. But what would Yona
Good
do?
enough. Deer know where they're going.
Let me right
Have
back
you ever
around.
seen a deer lost?
Yep.
I
I
haven't.
mean, I
Curve
don't know
back
if you can
around.
tell, but this is really,
Oh,
really
yeah.
deep, straight up a fucking
Maybe this is a good trail.
bluff. It's not a path.
Whew, man, they built the snakehead right out to the point. This hill, looking over the big crater. Yeah, look, it's all blocked off up here.
I'm like, oh,
Yona's off the beaten path.
No access.
That's it.
Sorry, taxpayer. Get the fuck out. Oh, it's going to play something else. There we go.
I got rid
That
of
was
in
wild.
time. There you go, folks. Earlier today, out in the wilderness.
So that you think that obelisk might be as old as the oldest megalithic site that we've discovered, allegedly, on the planet so far?
The stone and the work on that stone could easily be just countless thousands of years old. But of course, it was pitched off the bluff, and it's
By a
still
bunch of
sitting
stupid fucking white people,
there.
probably.
And now, like, a couple of rando YouTubers well, one rando YouTuber had found it, and now I went and made my own video
Well,
of
you're
it.
also a random YouTuber.
Well, I guess, am I still a YouTuber?
Do you still have a YouTube account?
Yeah, I still have a YouTube
Is there
account.
content on it?
Yeah, like 2 videos.
Then you're a YouTuber.
So technically,
Yeah. That's how words work.
it's my 6th sock account, but I'm sure if you ask YouTube, they would say no, he's definitely not a YouTuber. But I just
Yeah,
keep
well, yeah.
finding a way to finagle my way back in there. But I don't really upload stuff on there. But then there's like the other clip which I haven't uploaded yet. Just like another 45 seconds where I'm like showing the serpent mound itself from like the head and then back down the body as I walk out back to the car hurriedly to the heat. Yeah, fucking cold.
Yeah, that
But
front came in pretty quick.
the energy at that place,
Yeah.
just like make your hair stand up.
Really?
It's like what was wild, like as I walked down and was going over the footbridge and down the stairwell and making my way to the stone there, like because of the cold, like where I dislocated both knees and popped ankles before, like every joint was hurting, like
Right.
and all of a
Oh,
sudden
I know. Trust me.
I get down to the point there and I'm looking at the stone and it's like Mr. Walrus, Wilford Brimley, like I'm swimming in the swimming pool with the alien cocoons or something, and like I just had this shot of adrenaline, and man, well, granted, I really did not expect to find it because I mean, this wasn't like I'm going to look for a property corner, and so there's going to be fences leading to it, or it's going to make it's a called for monument entitled deed instruments for property. No, nothing like that. This is just some rando thousands of year old fucking Indian stone that a bunch of
That you heard was there, but you're not exactly sure where.
invading settlers decided, fuck this, and just threw it off the fucking hill somewhere. And what direction? I don't know. And of course, when I was watching this video,
I'm surprised
his
that
video
they
was
haven't
during the
tried to get it
summertime
out.
when all the foliage was there.
Yeah.
Um,
So like,
fortunately,
are they not? Is like the Park Service just not interested in trying to restore it?
yeah,
Or just like, fuck it, just let it stay there.
um, so Harvard never did anything with, because Harvard built the observation tower
Okay.
and then gave it to the state of Ohio. All that stuff at the property was built by Harvard. Um,
Oh, so the
like
state
the
of Ohio hasn't
area,
done shit with it since they got it.
right? And well, I take that back. They did put in like a toll booth at the parking lot where you're supposed to pay the fee,
Well, it wasn't that nice of them.
but it's an unmanned booth. So you have to go up to the kiosk to log in to electronically pay the fee at the kiosk.
Right.
But I don't know how to work the kiosk, so I just didn't pay. I mean, if I did pay, what the fuck would I be paying for? They haven't done a fucking thing for that
Oh,
property.
they built wait, was the museum also built? The building that the museum is in, was that also built by Harvard?
All of it was.
Okay.
When they turned it over to Ohio,
Because
uh,
it looks like it was right around the turn of the century,
yeah,
when it changed hands.
1900.
Yeah.
So, all of the stone buildings, everything out there is about 120 years old. Well, 130 years old. Because it was 1886 when Harvard got the property. And then they dumped it 14 years later. Gave it to the state of Ohio. Because I guess they're like, what is the university in Boston, Massachusetts doing owning a fucking Indian mound in Ohio? I
Who
guess.
knows?
I don't know.
Maybe they were looking for the obelisk and they couldn't
Well,
find it,
to
so
be
they gave
fair,
up.
he did all these excavations and didn't find gold or intact Indian skulls or anything. So,
Oh yeah, they do love the Indian skulls. They're at
yeah,
Harvard and Yale both. I've
yeah, yeah.
heard. Yeah.
I mean, it's literally
Shout
called
out Skull and
Bone.
Boners.
Literally called Skull and Bone.
Yeah.
But
Shout out Geronimo.
unfortunately, so many of these mounds have been lost to just utter destruction. Um, and a lot of the really interesting sites that involved stonework, stone walls, stone buildings, huge stone slabs all across Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois, West Virginia, Tennessee, and of course they were all ransacked. And those stones were then used in some of the nicer buildings in downtown.
Yeah. I
Oh,
imagine they were
well,
taken by the Freemasons.
yeah, there's stone that we don't have to quarry. We'll just steal it from this
Yeah.
ancient, you know, Neolithic fucking site. Um, I mean, it would be the equivalent of coming up on Stonehenge in England and being like, "Oh, look at all these stones. We could build a sidewalk with that. Let's do that."
That's basically what they did to
And that's what they
Stonehenge.
did.
Yeah. I don't think most people know that the Stonehenge site that everybody flocks to today has only been there as like what, 100 years maybe, if it's been
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
it's a recreation,
Yeah.
a replica.
Not the actual historical site or the stones or any of it. It's all 100% fake.
That's
Not
right.
even the same location.
That's right.
Which again, is true of a lot of things.
By the way, as we're nearing the end here, I would be remiss without mentioning. Did you hear that there are? Let's see. Are there four? There are four, three that I know of, French legislators co-sponsoring some French legislation
Mm-hmm.
requesting
You know I
that
don't pay attention to the gays, right?
uh, asking for the Statue of Liberty
Oh, I did see
in New
that.
York Harbor
I did
to
see
be
that.
returned to
Mhm.
France because
And
America
rightfully
is
so.
no longer about opening and welcoming immigrants.
Right.
And I mean, I thought the Statue of Liberty was like, with the torch and everything, hail Satan. I thought it was like
Mm.
the light bearer and Venus, stuff
Yeah,
like
well, there's
that.
that. There's the Sol Invictus imagery with the rays on the crown. And
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I mean,
it's all in there.
a
It
lot of
also
adult
relates
symbolism
back to
there.
the legend of Columba in the Celtic tradition. I don't think they were actually Celtic at that point. It was even like way back before all of that shit. Yeah, it's all of that melded into one uh, image.
So, of course, Statue of Liberty, Libby, um, we'll call her, Libby for short, Libby
Sure,
F.
sure, because yeah,
Liberty
it's a woman. Sure. Hmm.
Um, although I haven't looked under that green bronze dress, it could be junk under the trunk. I don't know. It's out in the Hudson. I haven't been there. But my question to you is, um, do you think how would that work? Like, would
Well,
they
see,
disassemble it
here's the
and
thing.
ship it back? Would you
Right.
send it back with like Amazon, or do you like
Maybe. I don't know.
lay it on its side and put it on a barge? I mean, or do we say, "Fuck you, no, we're keeping it. You can't give it to us and then ask for it back."
Right. Well, that would make them an Indian giver, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's my thing with it, right? Because they want to make a big political statement, right? They have finally arrived at their moment in the sun, where after being the object of ridicule of the entire world for I don't know what centuries now,
Right.
that France is finally got their moment. They can call one of the big bullies onto the carpet and just have their way with them, right? So I'm all for it. Like if they say we don't deserve to have it anymore because we're just a nation of garbage humans and we don't stand for the things that it stands for, that's fine. That's all well and good. That's ideological bullshit, and people are allowed to partake in that as much or as little as they want to. That's one of the beautiful things about this world. My thing about it is they have to pay for the reclamation and the shipping.
Yeah.
Like if you want it, that's fine. Come get it. We're not
Take
going
it.
to stop you.
Yours.
Just come get it. We're not going to pay for any of it. Take
Come
it
and
take
take
it back and put it up next to your giant steel dick and whatever. I don't know, jack off to both of them at the same time. I don't know what the fuck you're going to do with it, but leave us the fuck out of it. Just come get it and take it away. However you want to do it.
I mean, we've got French Canadians booing the national anthem in Canada. We've got Frenchies in Paris talking smack about the Statue of Liberty. Um, well, pardon my French, but va te faire enculer, tout le monde. All of y'all go fuck yourselves. I had to say that in French, obviously.
Well, that's the
Um,
only way they would understand it.
yeah, va
Yeah.
te faire enculer.
I mean, they are
Lentement. Oh,
99%
oh,
of French people speak English, but they pretend they don't because they're assholes.
but when you hear him say, Happy birthday to you, is that really English? I kind of get what you're trying to say, but geez, man, learn English. Um, the whole reason why English is so fucking hard to spell is because of French.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Mutard, mustard, you know. German is just senf, S-E-N-F, But German takes all the humor.
German mustard is terrifying, though. Anything in German is terrifying.
Yeah. Even the lullaby.
Yes.
Terrifying. I mean, I hear a lullaby and I just imagine Krampus and his goons coming from hell to snatch more children and throw them in a bag over his shoulder.
Mm.
Because that's the thing. Shout out to Krampus.
There you go. It's not even holiday season yet.
And see,
That's a bonus for the audience.
Krampus is trying to help humanity. He's going out and getting the garbage children.
Yep.
But of course, you go and free them from the Krampus. And what do garbage children become? Garbage humans.
Garbage humans. That's right.
That's why you have to exterminate the garbage babies. So shout out Zionists.
That's right.
Way to go.
And a lot of you just
you're
had
going to get the upper hand on terrorists in Gaza.
Yeah.
Is go after those jihadi embryos and zygotes.
That's right. A lot of people just had flashbacks to the Garbage Pail Kids collections, Yona. Just so you know. That's what you did for people tonight.
I love it when people make it, the ultimate human garbage apologists will explain to me why we have to kill children in Gaza and the West Bank. Why we have to torture them and rape them in Israeli torture camps or prisons, same thing.
Ooh, we're going to get
why
those
it's
soon.
Justified.
We're going to have those soon too, Yona. It's going to be awesome.
Ooh, I can't wait for that. So long as there's, will there be like rec time and stuff? I guess
I'm sure they're going to wreck a lot of stuff. So
after the shower.
Yeah.
Hygiene first.
Yeah.
Hygiene first.
No, I think that's about it, man.
That's the good news is if they go to put you on a death train in the United States, you know that you'll probably just be able to jump off of it. It's not going to be going faster than 35 miles an hour.
Depends where you are. They do go faster than that in some areas. Like if they know it's
not
heavily populated.
If you're on that good stretch of Northeast corridor between Richmond, D.C., Philly, Baltimore, New York, there are some stretches where they actually get up to about 55, 60, 80 mile an hour.
I tried to jump a train once and it was fast. It took a minute to catch up to it. Finally did though. Right there in good old Virginia.
It's called winning. Well, I think we went a little bit long, but
a little bit. There's a little bit extra for the people.
Part. And doing some actual discovery on the ground. I'm going to easily say I'm just one of a handful of people that is talking about this stone obelisk from the great North American Serpent Mound.
It was here before the white man was.
Yeah, in bumfuck Ohio, the heart of it all, Ohio, where there's more to discover. There you go.
Now we did. We had a discussion, a post-show meeting last week, ladies and gentlemen, and what the Yona and I decided is during Liberty Radio spring break, which again is going to run from the end of broadcast Friday until sometime in April. I don't know what the date is yet. I'll look at it at some point. But the final week in March, there will not be a Get Fact Harder, but the first week in April, there will. So you don't have to go on hiatus from your Thursday night pleasure cruise for too long. But we'll be back before Liberty Radio will be back. We'll just put it that way.
And I will be doing a Peasants Podcast, episode 101, will be next Monday.
Oh, awesome.
So there will be a little bit to nibble on, but between next Monday and the Thursday after next, you're just going to have to find something else to do. I recommend going outside.
Yeah. Weather's supposed to be nice. At least down here in Texas it is, which is good. A lot of work to do.
And if you're looking for love, Middletown and Springboro, Ohio. They're selling a lot of vibrators, butt plugs, dildos. One of their most popular
It might be
steak
the U.S.
places.
penetration capital.
The name of the last restaurant that I delivered tonight, Quaker Steak and, wait for it, Lube. So, if you're tired of where you live, why don't you give Clermont County, Ohio a glance over? Middletown, Springboro, Larry Flint's Hustler Hollywood. Telling you, give it a look. Anyway, that's all I got. Start safety. Go to go hunt. We don't say goodbye. We say see you again.
All right. We'll see you again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern. Take care, everybody. Good night.